It was Cadillac's flagship power plant, the NorthStar V8 engine, which was meant to move the company into the area of high-performance luxury automobiles. It was coupled to the GM4 T80E4 speed automatic gearbox and had a 4.6-liter DOHC design with 32 valves. Additionally, it featured variable valve timing (VVT). The engine was first shown to the public for the first time in the 1993 Cadillac Alante. Subsequently, it was used in automobiles like the Seville, Eldorado, and STS. Errors in the design and deficiencies in the engineering. What was the reason behind the catastrophic engine failures that were caused by a daring technical move about head bolts? Unfortunately, the NorthStar V8 was afflicted by a number of design faults, despite the fact that it had advanced specifications to yield TTY torque to yield nuts and bolts. When the engine overheated, the use of TTY bolts, which are meant to stretch during installation, caused problems. These bolts would stretch throughout the installation process. The cylinder heads became loose, which led to burst head gaskets. The bolts did not compress back to their normal size, which caused the cylinder heads to become loose. This problem was widespread in models that were manufactured between 1993 and 1999, and it was a key factor in the failure of the engines. Design of the cooling system. The cooling system of the engine was notoriously complicated and prone to malfunctioning. It was possible for some components, such as the water pump and the radiator, to experience early wear, which resulted in the engine overheating and then sustaining damage. These problems were made worse by the use of Dexcool coolant, which, when combined with other coolants, has the potential to produce sludge. Consumption of oil. A problem that often occurred was excessive oil consumption, which was a consequence of early piston, ring wear, and oil leaks. Not only did this result in an increase in the expenses of maintenance, but it also raised worries about the lifetime of the engine. Concerns that are frequently encountered by owners. What are the similarities between blown head gaskets, oil leaks, and tensioners that have failed completely? There were a number of chronic and expensive technical troubles that were experienced by owners of cars that were equipped with the NorthStar V8 engine. These issues had a significant impact on the engine's reputation for dependability. Blown head gaskets were one of the most prevalent and significant issues that individuals encountered. The use of torque to yield TTY head bolts, which were intended to undergo a tiny amount of stretching during the installation process, was the primary cause of this problem. The clamping force, on the other hand, would often be lost when the engine was subjected to high temperatures, which would result in distorted cylinder heads and gasket failure. Indicators of the problem included the loss of coolant, misfires in the engine, excessive heating, and the emission of white smoke from the exhaust. Leaks of oil were another common complaint, and they were most often reported coming from the valve covers and the rear main seals. The intricate engine design of the NorthStar made it difficult to reach components, which drove up labor costs. These leaks were not only messy but also costly to correct because of the complexity of the engine architecture. In addition, there were reports of problems with the timing chain tensioner. In the event that the chain skipped or snapped, the tensioners would wear down prematurely, resulting in a rattling sound and putting the engine in danger of suffering serious damage. As a last point of discussion, faults with the electronic throttle control caused unexpected performance concerns. Reduced engine power, rough idling, and unexpected acceleration behavior were all things that drivers reported experiencing. These defects presented a threat to the safety of the vehicle and often necessitated electronic diagnostics and the replacement of parts. The early promise that the engine had made was eroded as a result of these flaws together. Decline and discontinuation of the process. Why did General Motors decide to discard the NorthStar in favor of an older engine design that was simpler? It was once a symbol of Cadillac's technical ambition, but the NorthStar V8 engine has been experiencing a gradual slide in repute owing to the fact that it has been experiencing chronic dependability troubles. Consumer trust was damaged as a result of recurrent issues such as blown head gaskets, oil leaks, and vehicle overheating. Although Cadillac made attempts to address these difficulties in subsequent iterations of the engine, The harm had already been done by the time those efforts were accomplished. In the end, the NorthStar's performance merits were eclipsed by its reputation for being expensive to fix and requiring a lot of preventative care. At the beginning of the 21st century, Cadillac started abandoning the engine in favor of alternatives that were more reliable and efficient. The manufacture of the NorthStar was officially discontinued by General Motors in the year 2011. Last but not least, the Cadillac DTS, the Buick Lucerne, and the Cadillac STS were the cars that were equipped with this engine. As a replacement for it, General Motors switched to the LS Series small block OHV8 engines, which had a pushrod design that was more straightforward. It was discovered that these engines were more dependable, as well as more cost-effective and more adapted to the requirements of current performance. Inheritance and the lessons acquired. In the world of automobiles that we live in today, is it possible to have performance without dependability? It was Cadillac's NorthStar V8 engine that finally became a cautionary story in the field of automotive engineering, despite the fact that it was a demonstration of the company's audacious aim to compete with European luxury brands in terms of cutting-edge performance and innovation. However, despite its innovative design, which included innovations such as twin overhead cams and variable valve timing, it was plagued by recurrent issues, most notably failures of the head gasket, oil leaks, and overheating, which overshadowed its otherwise promising potential. By highlighting a major defect, these dependability difficulties brought to light the fact that innovation without durability may damage consumer trust and the reputation of a business. Cadillac's experience with the NorthStar highlighted the need for rigorous testing, technical refinement, and quality assurance in the process of developing powertrains. In order to attain genuine greatness in the automotive industry, it is essential to strike a balance between performance and long-term reliability, as the heritage of the NorthStar offers as a compelling reminder. Conclusion. The transformation of the Cadillac NorthStar V8 engine from a symbol of technical progress to a case study in engineering issues highlights the significance of extensive design and testing in the process of automobile development. The lessons that Cadillac has learned from the NorthStar V8 will surely have an impact on future ventures as the company continues to develop. The legacy of the NorthStar serves as a reminder that innovation should not come at the price of dependability, and that the confidence of consumers is of the utmost importance in the automotive industry. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe for more.